Maryland sports fans, there's only one sports book in the great state of Maryland with over 50 years experience booking bets and supporting customers. Betfred Sportsbook at Longshots is now open and is the only sportsbook in Frederick offering cash betting on football, basketball, world soccer, and more. Visit the Betfred Sportsbook at I-270 and MD-85 in Frederick, right next to Longshots off-track betting. Go to betfredsports.com for more information and your chance to win exclusive merchandise. Must be 21 or older. Play responsibly. For help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
There'd be a lot of poop in my pants. I've seen a 6-foot alligator go swinging through the air and slam into a tree.
These guys are the scientists of the supernatural, lecturers leaving lessons for inquiring laymen. They are applying the scientific method to a world that baffles science. They are the cryptids of the corn.
But who else has big black wings and red eyes?
Batman.
Oh, Mothman.
Oh, yeah, Mothman.
A great white shark was stolen.
Oh, someone stole a shark?
I got stuff for you don't even know about.
She's a witch. She turned me into a newt.
Who knows? Anything could be possible. Anything could be possible.
It's really big abduction vibes.
Holy moly.
It sounds like you were abducted.
And it just stood up. I mean, it just like kept going and going. And she goes, what the?
So keep in mind, this is a Wednesday episode.
Yes?
So we're interviewing each other.
We're interviewing each other?
Kinda.
Okay.
'Cause that's pretty much what Wednesdays have been, is interviews.
True.
So we're going to interview each other about our experience at EncounterQuest.
EncounterQuest just happened April 1st, 2023. It's the first annual ever EncounterQuest, one of gonna be many, I'm assuming, because what an amazing freaking weekend.
So we do a lot of events. So why are we doing a special thing about this event?
Because this event was extra special. Because it was awesome.
Yes.
10 out of 10.
I mean, it really was. It's going to be, I think it's going to be one of the bigger events on the Eastern Coast in the next couple of years.
Maybe in the whole United States. It has a potential to be.
It
was that awesome. No, I'm not even talking it up. It just really was that fun.
So we're going to do a little episode about it'll probably be like an hour or 80 minutes, something like that. No, it'll be a normal size episode because we got a lot of stories to tell.
Yeah.
It was weird because we pretty much got there and didn't stop.
Shoot. So, yeah,
let's 12 and a half hours. Before we get into that, I have a lot of stuff to do. So calm down.
Why?
Because this is a Wednesday episode. There's structure to these.
I drank 2 things of coffee. I'm jacked up. I didn't have breakfast.
That's your own fault.
I just...
Wake up earlier.
Why do you demand these things of me?
I don't. You just complain because you don't.
I'm not complaining. I'm jazzed up. I'm all hyped up.
I didn't have breakfast. That way you didn't have breakfast?
No, I'm saying I didn't have breakfast and I drank a bunch of coffee, so it's like soaring through my body.
You don't wake up early.
Did you have breakfast?
Yeah.
You lie.
I had a bowl of cereal.
You lie.
That's why I wake up at 7, so I can eat, take a shower before I even call you to see if you're still alive.
Well, usually not. All
right. No, first off, extremely big thank you to Jess and Kim.
Yes.
Woo! No, they invited us down to speak. They took care of us. It was amazing. We had so much fun. I hope they realize how cool of an event and how good a job they did. I'll definitely have to send this episode their way.
I feel like they knew.
Yeah.
I hope so. If not, amazing.
It was. I'm not saying this jokingly that I think this is going to be one of the bigger events on the Eastern Coast.
It was very fun.
Like I said, we do these events constantly. And we've been to some of the biggest ones on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
And this one definitely has the bones to compete, if not outcompete.
Ooh, the bones.
Mm-hmm. But no, thank you. Thank you, guys. And I want to also talk about the auditorium first.
Oh, the venue.
The Cole Auditorium.
Yes, in Hamlet, North Carolina.
I cannot remember it has a big, long name, but so everybody just calls it the Cole.
Yeah.
It's like the blah, 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 Cole Auditorium.
Yeah.
So everybody calls it the Cole Auditorium. It was wicked.
Very nice venue.
The staff.
10 out of 10.
Literally amazing people.
Above and beyond.
We were there. Some of us were intoxicated, demanding things, and they just did everything with a smile. I had to have them unlock the dressing room like 3 or 4 times. They had a dressing room for us.
They had their own dressing. They had 4 separate dressing rooms.
And we had our own bathroom.
We had our own bathroom, our own showers in there. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. It was like...
We didn't get to use them, but hey, if we needed to, they were there.
I used the bathroom.
Oh, yeah, you did. It wasn't even your dressing room. You used the wrong one.
I went in the wrong one. They didn't. They were fine, though. No, the staff was super good. So, the speakers were in a space. The speaking auditorium, like the auditorium fits 2,500 people. Mm-hmm. And I think next year it may be full.
I hope so. I hope so.
Oh, I was like, what are you doing?
I was nervous. I was nervous.
It was so fun. And
yeah.
Most of the people in the audience listened to us at that point anyway, so.
True.
That was a lot of fun. But the auditorium was great. The IT people, I'll tell you what, it's not, that the venue is, I think, where most events struggle.
Yeah. Is
the venue can really make or break an event, and the staff at the venue can make or break the event. They were all great. They had IT people. Like, they had guys that completely set stuff up for us. So I'm like, we don't really know how to do this. And they're like, oh, no, here, we got it.
Yeah, most events, you got to figure that stuff out yourself.
On the fly.
Yeah.
No, they had a full crew. They had a lady that was just designated for microphones.
Right.
They had a guy that was just designated to hook up your laptop for the presentation.
Yep.
And they made sure everybody either Saturday morning super early went through their presentation, make sure there's no hiccups, or Friday night. Mm-hmm. And then they had sound guys. They had, it was super nice. They had people constantly walking around helping out.
Right. Yeah. It was awesome.
So Cole Auditorium.
Yeah.
Hamlet, North Carolina. If you need an event space, it's probably the one.
Do we have a little cheer button anymore on the?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, it was great. It was just wicked. The space alone, parking lot was massive.
Yeah. It had everything you need for a conference. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, it really did. It was really great. The next thing I wanted to shout out to was the speakers, the other speakers.
Yep.
We were the last speaker of the day, which I'm a fan of being last. Number one, there was a group that came up and wanted to talk at the end, and they were great, good guys. I just forgot their name off the top of my head. It's PD.
Yeah, PD.
Like
Paranormal or something like that.
Yeah, PD Paranormal. They have a Roku channel, all that stuff.
Yeah,
great guys. We'll reach out to them. They get to talk much to them at the event. But Kenny was first. Good buddy Kenny. He'll be on
Irish.
as an interview here soon.
Cryptopunkologist.
Him and Jay have the weirdest hair at the event.
Ooh, were we competing for that prize?
No, you won.
For weirdest, yeah, for sure. Not unique. It's up for grabs, but weirdest.
Kenny thought you had a mental problem.
Oh yeah, let me talk about that. So I have this stupid haircut right now that I'm just growing out. Got my patch in the back of my head. I'm growing out. The rest of it's shaved. And Kenny, about almost over halfway, 3/4 through the event, we're talking, and he finally says, we find that he's asking about, we're just talking, and I mentioned my hair and things like that. And he's like, oh, I wanted to say something there, but I was afraid, maybe you had a condition or something. I didn't want to speak about it. So he thought I have a condition with my dumb haircut. Nope, it's just a dumb haircut. That's all it is.
Just a dumb haircut.
He literally thought I had a condition, which, to me, I love it. It's very funny.
The Squatch Watcher guys. Mm-hmm. They were awesome. They spoke second. They were great to meet in person. Super sweet, kind guys. Joked about them. I picked on them a little bit, just kind of test the waters, and they reacted very positively to it.
Oh, good. I didn't really speak to them too much.
We didn't get the chance to. They were really busy. We were really busy.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's definitely somebody we'll reach out to after.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, Ron Moorhead, which we've seen Ron.
Who?
Yeah, who?
Yeah.
No, we've seen Ron at a lot of these events. He still wears our T-shirt, which is nice.
Yeah, Ron's awesome.
Ron is a sweet man. His wife, Kimberly, was there. She was
super nice. Super nice.
We'll tell some stories. We'll be a little discreet with what happened at the hotel after. But we definitely had a party. But no, Ron's super nice. But a surprise kind of guest up until just a couple weeks before the event was Scott Nelson. Scott Nelson is the guy that basically reviewed the Sierra Sounds. If you guys listen to our Sierra Sound episode, he's the guy that he's a cryptolinguist.
Right.
Nothing to do with cryptids.
He did that for the Navy, right? Or the military?
I think
I think
it was the Navy.
I'm pretty sure it was.
But he's a cryptolinguist. He basically is the one that was the tone at the top of his field in the world, and he's the Sierra Sounds are what kind of flipped his life. Where he analyzed them. He was the one that found they were both above and below human frequencies. They were not pre-recorded, so that means that when Ron was out there recording them, whatever was making the sound was there with him. Right. And then they also found language characteristics. So that's what turned his life. I don't know. He's super. We got stories about him later too.
Oh yeah, and he's
genuinely a nice man.
Very nice, and he has a cool, sort of a Irish accent in there. It's just fun that when it comes out, like sometimes it comes out real strong, but it's just subtle though, and it's fun listening to him.
We're going to his house in a couple months for what do you say, caber toss, barbecue,
something. Yeah, I don't remember, but he was very inviting and warm, welcoming, and invited us all to his home. Basically, whenever we wanted to.
Yeah,
we're like, all right, we're going to take you up on that. Yeah, we had some fun conversations.
And then, of course, the Daryl Sims.
Yes, Daryl Sims.
So we got there. Daryl graciously told them not to get him a rental car. Keep in mind, this man's from Texas.
Yeah.
He's the alien hunter. You guys will hear more about him. We're interviewing all these guys here relatively soon.
Daryl is a character.
Yeah, in a good way.
Oh, yeah, yes.
We had so much fun with Daryl, and he had so much fun with us. But anyway, so he didn't get a rental car. We're staying at the same hotel. He told him not to get it to save money for the event and stuff like that. So we offered that, hey, we'll take care of Daryl.
Yeah, since we drove, we have a car.
We have a car. We'll take care of Daryl. We'll get him to and from the hotel. We'll take him to lunch, that kind of stuff.
What, should we even mention the car?
If you want to. Go ahead.
So I drove my car down there, and, I thought, it's a decent, 2006 Chevy Malibu, luxury vehicle. Only 90,000 miles on her. She's a beaut. Well, I had tire trouble, before.
Well, okay, save that story.
Okay. Well, I was going to say I patched her up before we left. I did patch it.
He didn't.
Or plug it. I had a pin-sized hole in it, so I plugged it before we left.
Pin-sized.
And let's just say the plug didn't hold.
Because he hit something.
No, come on. Now he's going to start telling stories. He's going to start telling the stories. Something hit me. It jumped out in front of the road, and I ran it over. I watched it. You were asleep.
An inanimate object jumped.
I watched it.
I woke up to brake slamming.
There's no brake slamming. I never hit the brakes. No,
because whatever it was ended up wedged underneath the car.
It was like an oil jug. The truck in front of me was flying down the highway, and it stirred it up out of the ditch, so it spun up onto the road. And I was going like 80 or something.
I wish Mark was here because he agreed with me that.
So I couldn't swerve and I wasn't going to jerk the wheel
or something.
Something, yeah, somewhere around there. I was ballparking it.
Something.
And so I hit
there was probably an 8 in the number.
So I hit this thing, and it just got lodged under the car. And so
I thought we had a flat. And all I could think of was like all the stuff's in the trunk, and we're going to have to pull all. It's like 4:30 in the morning.
Right.
We're only like an hour away from the venue.
Yeah. Because I drove pretty far. But then I
did most of the driving. I'm not going to argue.
Which we take turns doing that in all of our travels. But,
ish.
So I swerved. What do you mean ish?
Like you did most of the driving on this one.
This time, but other ones you've done.
I did most of the driving for Virginia.
We take turns like doing that
because I couldn't stand. First off, I didn't want Emily to drive at all. I want to die.
Neither of us want that.
The mountains. We didn't have to do very bad mountains this one.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But the mountains in Virginia, I could it's nothing against Jay. I need to be in the wheel, or I start having panic attacks.
Right. So I hit this thing, and it's swerve. So I pull over to the right lane, to figure out what's going on, and then it unlodges itself. It goes, and then, all right, we're good. We was back in the fast lane, pedal to the metal.
You did hit the brakes a little bit because that's what woke us up. Okay. And you did hit it with your tires at some point. Because I remember the car jumping really hard.
Well, that's probably when it got unlodged.
No, because I was awake for when it...
A car does not jump from a plastic jug.
It raised. It did. Mark will agree with me. Anyways.
Coming from two people sleeping.
That's what woke us up.
Yeah.
And it was underneath your car for a while.
Half mile. A mile at max.
At least a minute. And let's see, at the speed you were going...
At least a minute. You were asleep.
That's probably 2.5 miles at the speed you were going.
Please.
You're probably going 130 miles per hour when you hit it.
Well, I don't want to be driving all night, okay? So we got there.
Every time I woke up to look at the GPS, we were getting there earlier and earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't figure out why.
I don't waste time, people.
Okay, well, I'll tell you my car story in a minute when these guys woke up when I was driving.
I don't even remember right now.
Oh,
off the top of my
yeah,
head.
the Dogman Road.
Oh, okay, yeah, that one, okay.
But no, so yeah, Daryl's super sweet,
Yeah, Daryl,
super fun guy.
alien hunter. I stole his hat.
We did. You stole his hat, and I tried to eat something that he had at the hotel that night.
Wait, what?
I'll tell that story. I have it on my
Okay,
list of stories.
Okay.
His eyes got all big, and he tried to take it out of my hand.
Okay, I don't remember this.
You weren't there. Like, you were talking to Michael.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah. So thanks to all those guys. You will hear from them. We have all their contact info. We'll get them all on the show soon.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we'll try to get Ron, and it would be really fun to get Ron and Scott on at the same time.
Oh, that would be nuts.
They're best friends, like, at this point. Like, they're dynamic together. If you ever had the chance to see Ron and Scott together, it's awesome.
Yeah. That would be fun to get them both at the same time.
But no, so let's move on to people that came out, shout-outs.
Oh, yeah.
So first, Kurt from Baltimore.
Yeah.
Baltimore, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kurt.
He come in, stop, one of the first ones to come see us.
Literally come up, and I'm like, hey, I'm Jesse. He's like, I know. Like, oh, okay.
Right, yeah.
And he was a super nice listener, fan of the show. We appreciate you, Kurt. He stayed, he stayed for the whole event, just having a ball. It was nice, And
Connecting.
everybody on these people, all the people on this list made us feel, I don't know.
Warm.
Yeah, there you go. Just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
When you drive 12 hours away and you get there and a local's like, hey, I'm so glad you guys came down. Like,
Yeah,
thank you.
It's like,
Because we had a group of people that kind of said the same thing. Like,
yeah.
oh, thank you guys for coming down. It's so nice you came to our area and stuff like that. Like, it made it worth it,
Oh, 100%.
And you come up and you're like, yeah, it's just amazing. So thank you, Kurt. Next one, Nicole. Nicole, hi, Nicole. She was super sweet. She came down, listened to us speak, all that stuff. She was so fun.
Took photos with her.
Yep. I think she may be coming to the live show, maybe not. She's talking about that.
She's going to drive here for the live show?
She has family in Ohio, remember?
Oh, nice. That's right.
So she kind of was talking about making it like a
round trip.
like a trip.
Yeah.
Which would make sense. It's hard to come up to Ohio and you don't got anybody here. You have a place to stay or whatever. It's a little easier.
Mm-hmm.
But Nicole's super nice, super friendly, and glad to meet her.
Yeah.
And she's one of the ones that posted that she was coming to the event, so I learned her face a little bit, and I was actually walking around when I met her.
Yeah.
Remember, and I'm like, Jay, this is Nicole. She said she was coming to the show.
Yep.
So thank you, Nicole.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Dan and Mark.
Dan and Mark.
Yeah, these guys were so much fun. And you will be hearing from them in the future.
Ooh.
Because they run the North American Bigfoot Research Society. But these guys are super cool. Just fun people to talk to.
Oh, yeah, we had a ball.
Yeah. Now, I'm trying to remember who's who, because that's the worst thing. I know there's Dan and Mark, but one of them listens to the show more than the other. But they were picking on us when we were done for the questionnaire part of it. They put us on the spot for what's your guys' cryptid, what's your guys' favorite episode, stuff like that.
Oh, gotcha.
Because I put everybody on the spot. I'm like, well, what's either your favorite episode or your least favorite episode?
Oh, Mark was the one on the right. Dan was on the left. Dan was the one that liked the rest. Well, no, they were both in the wrestling. We held Dan's jacket, though, for him.
Okay.
We kept his jacket safe for, like, half the conference.
Yeah. We went through his pockets. There was nothing worth taking.
Yeah, no. Yeah, he actually walked up, hey, can you guys, can you keep this safe back here or hold on to this so I don't have to walk around? Like, sure.
It's lucky Daryl didn't steal it.
Oh, that's true, yeah. I mean, it was nice, though, that he felt safe keeping it with us. Like, all right. Like, that's a compliment in itself. But we had fun talking wrestling and things like that.
Oh, yeah. Mark listens to the show a lot and stuff like that. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
I really enjoyed talking to both of them.
and I think there was somebody talking, when they first came in, there was somebody at our booth talking to us, and they walked by and kept looking at us. And I'm like, they either know us or they think, I don't know. I'm like, I'm just getting a little nervous.
Yeah.
And like, oh no, they knew us.
They're going to fight us.
Yeah. Well, you never know in these areas.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, as far as people in this field, we pretty much don't pick fights with anybody.
Well,
we don't
have
care
any
enough.
reason to, yeah.
Like, some people take this really, really seriously, and will fight over like difference of opinion.
Right. We're just here to learn, gain knowledge, and have fun, and connect with people.
But no, so Dan and Mark, thank you. Eventually, they're going to come on the show and talk about their organization and stuff like that.
Sweet.
Some of the research and stuff they do. But they're super kind people. And I said whenever they get up to Ohio, we'll take them out some of our research areas.
Yeah.
We're not we're not super research heavy, but when we go to these areas, we like to go out to a couple of locations we know it has.
Right. Field research heavy.
Yeah.
You're very research heavy.
Yes, not field research heavy.
There we go.
My body's broken and I just can't physically do it.
Right.
Next, Brandon,
one of our top tier Patreon, not top tier as in like involved.
He's always on stuff with us. He
Yeah.
does everything with the Patreon. Like, he's always active, is what James means.
So, yes, there we go. And so we got to actually meet him in person for the very first time.
Gave him a big hug.
I know, because right when he walked up, he's just standing there in our booth. And Justin said, oh, hey, we'll be with you in 1 second. Oh, it's Brandon.
Well, he looked very nice.
Yeah.
So I have, we talked to him on
Yeah, we've talked to him on video.
Discord and stuff like that. But he actually looked so nice. He had 4 or 5 different people compliment him at the conference.
Yeah.
I just don't know if that area of North Carolina wasn't like ready to see a dapper young man.
Right. There you go, Brandon.
But yeah, he could have gone home with several women and maybe a man or two.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Just picking on Brandon.
Yeah.
But no, it's super nice he came out. And he had some troubles that day and still came out. So that was we greatly appreciate him.
Oh, yeah.
Praying for his family.
And he helped us break
He helped
down
us everything.
the whole time. He helped us, sat with us in our booth, hung out with us, helped us break down our booth and put things away. Like big, super huge help.
Brandon's so nice, and we can't wait for the next time.
Right.
And you guys may be seeing. So this is a little sneak peek for next year of Cryptids the Corn. Everybody knows what we got planned this year is actually getting the studio and doing more on the YouTube and stuff like that. Next year, Cryptids the Corn advancement is going more towards a little more field research with the outdoor videoing.
Okay.
And Brandon happens to live next to the Brown Mountain Lights.
Oh, that's right.
And he graciously invited us down for the Brown Mountain Lights.
So hopefully in the future.
So what our kind of plan is this is getting bigger and bigger the podcast-wise. So like next year, let's say we go down to EncounterQuest.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll go down a week early.
Yeah.
And do a Brown Mountain Light documentary.
Ooh, yeah.
Before that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I know what you mean.
Or after. It doesn't matter,
Shoot, who knows when it would happen. Whenever it works out in our schedule. Mm-hmm. What if we presented the Brown Mountain Lights at EncounterQuest next year?
Ooh, that'd be interesting. That's where we've been last week.
Yeah. That'd be
Brown
neat.
Mountain Lights are such a unique phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Mimsy Lights, that's what the Brown Mountain Lights remind me of, the Mimsy Lights in Australia.
Mimsy. It's from South Park.
I know.
Makes me laugh.
The North Colorado Great Lake Shark or whatever it was with the whistle.
Yeah.
It starts. Anyways, but no. So thank you, Brandon, for coming out.
Yeah, so
we
much.
greatly appreciated it.
Awesome meeting you in person.
Another super big shout out to Oren and Jenny.
Yeah.
So good friends. They're from North Carolina.
Fellow podcasters.
Now they're fellow podcasters. Yes.
Correct.
So poor Oren and Jenny couldn't make it down for Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay because I asked Daryl to bring out the UFO stuff, which we'll talk about later.
Oh, that's right.
And they got to experience it. Oren and Jenny were super nice. But anyway, at the event, they had food trucks there and stuff like that. And, food trucks can be a little pricey. And I have allergies and stuff like that. So it's kind of hard for me specifically to do food trucks.
Yeah.
Specifically because they cooked everything on a griddle. And that can make me really sick because...
cross-contamination.
Yeah. So I had a little pork sandwich because that's the only thing they brought from their home smoker.
Mm-hmm.
So basically I had warming tins.
Yeah.
So I'm so that didn't touch anything else in there. No. Okay, so I got that. So I was still hungry. So Oren and Jenny went out and got us, Daryl, Brandon, a couple of the other speakers, this gigantic tailgate dinner.
Yeah.
We brought it into we brought it in and had this tailgate special.
We had fried chicken, pulled pork, potato
salad, hush puppies.
And the hush puppies were delicious.
That's the one thing. I couldn't eat the hush puppies, but they looked so good. It's
I-
not like an Ohio hush puppy.
No, they were like fingers. They were weird.
If I would have seen them, I thought they were some kind of cheese stick.
And they didn't. I don't think they had onions in them. But
I just don't
it's
risk
not worth
it.
the risk.
I just don't risk it, especially at an event.
But they were. Oh, I know. Yeah. Please don't. We need you.
Because that was before we spoke.
Yeah. So they brought this whole platter of food, and they sat it down, and Justin wasn't there when they first sat it down, but he came back to the booth and discovered this big pile of food there. And I was like, oh, yeah, they got this for you. He's like, for me?
Well, I didn't know.
I know.
You handed me a bag.
I know.
So keep in mind, there's 4 bags.
Yeah.
One had like silverware plates. One had the sides. One had the tea, and one had the food.
One had all the chicken and all the pulled pork in it.
But Jay just handed me a bag, and I'm like, "There's a bucket of fried chicken in here.
Yeah.
I'll eat it."
I was like, "This is just for you," and your eyes lit up. You're like, "No," and you're like, "It was fun." It was just
that's too much food.
I know, and I was just making a joke, but I think even Daryl got a kick out of that one.
Oh, he did.
Yeah,
Daryl got a lot of kicks out of
Yeah.
a lot of stuff we did. But it was so. Thank you, Oren and Jenny.
Oh yeah, thank you guys so much.
And they were thanking me all night, out Saturday night for stuff, and I'm like, oh, thank you guys for coming.
Right? Yeah, we had
And
a ball hanging out with you.
And then Rick Rellis and his wife April.
Yeah, it was
Rick-
nice meeting her. Yeah,
Yeah, and we've met her, but passing and stuff like that.
Actually, sitting down and talking and
to her.
conversating.
They're so fun people.
Yeah, they're awesome. And Rick had his new shirt he was prototyping.
I know. I was so mad at
And
him.
Justin wanted to rip it off his body. And
I was going to
keep
buy it off of him
Yeah.
if it was the right size. It was a size too small
Oh,
because he just got those as stickers.
right. Yeah.
So it's the Bigfoot getting sucked up into the UFO.
Right,
It says
yeah.
got who or
Yeah.
woo.
Yeah, got woo.
Woo,
Yeah.
woo, woo. But no, the woo part it's a play on the words. The woo part of the Bigfoot phenomena,
Right.
and I wanted it really bad because it's kind of fun to see. The Bigfoot community really pushes back on that kind of stuff,
Right. Yeah.
and I love it because it's real. It happens,
Mm-hmm. It's part of the equation.
I don't think it was part of my Bigfoot encounter, but didn't mean it didn't happen with everybody else.
Right. Exactly.
So I next time we see him, I'm getting that T-shirt, and he gave me the stickers for it. So I got to put those stickers on the car.
Oh yeah.
But no, it was so nice hanging out with them. And his wife April, thank God she did the pizza. Well, she we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But so those are my thank yous and kind of shout outs. Now we're just going to tell stories.
Ooh, where do we start?
So, how does it feel when you play Roll Up to Win with Tim Hortons? Buy a hot or cold beverage using the Tim's app and find out. Roll in the app for a chance to win prizes ranging from free coffee and donuts to a Universal Orlando resort vacation or a sweet car. Oh, don't forget the TV. And this year, every roll is a shot at a $1,000 daily giveaway drawing for 2 $500 prizes. Roll up to win and get treated by Tim's. No purchase necessary. Account registration required. 50 U.S. and D.C. 18 plus entered by 4/2/23. See rules at rolluptowin.com for free entry or full details. Void in Florida and where prohibited.
Dr. Rick here. Another sign you're becoming your parents is getting particular about details that don't matter.
The craziest thing happened when we got tacos the other day. Was it Wednesday or Thursday we got tacos? I know it wasn't Tuesday because that's when I went to my hairdresser. Shoot, what day was it?
See how we all lost interest there?
Progressive can't help you from becoming your parents, but we can help you compare rates on home insurance with Home Quote Explorer.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
The Venture X card from Capital One gives you premium travel benefits, perfect for seeing Taylor Swift The Eras Tour. Presented by Capital One. Ooh, I do love her. Earn 5 times miles on flights and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel.
Enjoy your stay in Suite 13.
Whoa, 13? That's Taylor's lucky number. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Oh gosh, there's a lot of them. I'm looking. I have a list of little stories.
All right, read off the first one. I just want to know because there was so much stuff that happened. I don't remember it all, but like
so
off the
my
top of
first
head.
one is eating the UFO.
Eating.
So Daryl Sims Friday night had this. He's anybody that doesn't know who Daryl Sims is. He's coming on the show definitely several times probably.
Yeah.
But he's the UFO hunter. He's been in this field forever. He's the alien implant guy. He actually trained the guy that you see on TV with the stuff and all that. Daryl Sims is the original alien implant guy.
Mm-hmm.
But he's super down to earth and saying, like, 99% of the stuff is not alien implants. It's this.
Yeah.
He had fish RFD chips and stuff like that. Me and him talked about that because that's what I used to put those in fish's skulls.
Yeah.
And what was crazy is he described the little device that broke the back of the nose bone that put implants in people's, what's that called? Septums?
Yeah, I guess you could say it's that.
Whatever you have to break that little bone, that thin bone.
In the back here, up in your nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like behind your eyes. I think it's a septum bone. I used to do that with fish.
Yeah.
And there was so much. That's kind of what I really enjoyed about his presentation. There's so much specifically fish knowledge.
Crossover, yeah.
But with alien abductions. But when you think about it, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And like even the fluorescent dyes and all the, super cool guy. Anyways, he had pieces of UFO. He had several pieces, and he had the spectrograph analysis, which means they were analyzed at a molecular level, and he had the charts there to explain what they were. Most of them all had non-native Earth elements. So what that means is they're not naturally occurring on Earth. They have to be made in a specialized lab, or they're not from Earth. Some meteorites, some other planets may have them, stuff like that. All of the UFO and all of the alien plants he had that. And the spectral analysis graph was done by a third-party lab. Has no say in the matter, like no skin in the game. So that was really cool. Oren and Jenny couldn't make it on Friday.
Right, yeah.
And Oren and Jenny started the UFO... okay, now I'm going to mess it up. The UFO framework.
Yeah, the frameworks.
Yes. I almost said database, but that's not right. UFO framework, that's their research organization for UFOs. So I felt really bad that they didn't get to see that kind of stuff. Jenny had to work and stuff like that.
Right, yeah.
Some people have to do their jobs.
Because the Friday before, Daryl did this presentation of, what would you say? The first part of it was like the alien.
He kind of went through some stuff he wasn't going to talk about in his presentation the next day.
Right, yeah.
It's super good. It was a lot of fun, and it was a smaller crowd, so you could ask questions, you could be interactive.
It's very intimate.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Next year, if he does it again,
I'm going.
buy tickets.
Oh, 100%. It's worth every penny of it.
I would have paid double or triple what they were asking.
Yeah.
Especially after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so Oren and Jenny didn't get to experience this. Daryl, so Friday night we took him back to the hotel. We're going to sit down here and drink for a while. And then he came back out and hung out with us till 1 a.m.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And then Saturday night, he did the same. He went out to dinner with... he had a couple fans come and stuff like that, so he's like, I'm going to go out to dinner with these guys, and when I get back, I'll hang out with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, yeah, that's fine. No pressure. You don't got to hang out with us. But he did. We enjoyed each other's company very much.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's an understatement.
But I'm just saying, he enjoyed us, we enjoyed him. And by the end of it, we started picking on each other so bad.
I know.
It was like an old buddy. Anyways.
And not to mention, he's former CIA.
He's got a lot of...
Credentials. Yeah.
So we're hanging out at the hotel. He comes back, and Oren and Jenny had brought me several things of moonshine that we were drinking quite quickly. Anyways, and Crown Royal. It was great. So we're drinking, and Daryl comes back, and it's probably at this point 9 o'clock at night. He's there from 9. We were up till about 2:30 that night.
Were we?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, because Ron's wife said something. Anyways, we were up to 2:30 that night.
Okay.
Daryl comes back, and we've all been drinking. It's about 7 o'clock. And he comes in, and I'm like, Oren and Jenny are sitting there with me. I'm like, Daryl, these guys weren't able to make it last night. They're big UFO guys. Is there any way you can bring out the couple pieces of UFO to show them? And Daryl's like, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah.
He always does that. I do that at work too, and that's why people hate me.
Yeah.
Because people don't understand it's a joke. And he brought out extra stuff he didn't show us the night before.
Yeah, it's true. The watch and a bunch of stuff.
So much cool stuff. Anyways, so he has starting from a piece of UFO that's the size of a BB up to a big chunk. So he doesn't normally show the little BB one because he's worried about somebody grabbing it.
Yeah.
So he brought it out for us, and as it gets to me, I grab it and act like I'm swallowing, and he actually jumped forward to grab it from me.
I didn't see that.
It was hilarious.
I wish I would have seen it.
Because I guess people have tried to do that.
Tried to swallow it?
Yeah, because then you can't take it from him.
Oh, I wish I would have seen his face.
Oh,
dang it.
It was funny. It was so funny.
Yeah.
And then I give back to him, obviously. But the UFO stuff was weird. The chunks of UFO was...
Yeah, it was very strange. I looked at it really, really close, and you could see the mix of metal and look like just...
It was like slag. So most of this is slag dripping off them.
Yeah.
So anybody remember some of these Canadian Pacific, with the UFOs dripping slag out of the bottom of them, and people don't really know why. That's kind of what he's got.
Yeah.
But a cool thing I didn't know until he told me is when I had it, I was trying to heat it up in a spot. And it diffuses heat extremely efficiently.
Almost like aluminum.
Yeah, but it's a lot. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
Just go see Daryl somewhere when he's presenting stuff. 100% worth it. But it wouldn't heat up. I couldn't get a spot to heat up. And I held it, couldn't get it to heat up, so I gave it back. Very unique stuff. But yeah, that's about eating the UFO.
That was pretty funny.
It was a ball. So we're sitting in this hotel lobby. You want me to keep going?
Yeah.
We're sitting in this hotel lobby. Keep in mind, Ron Moorhead and his wife, his lovely wife, are there. Scott Nelson and his kids are there.
Yep.
Rick Rellis and his wife, April.
Yep.
Mark, Orrin, Jenny, and Kevin. Was his name Kevin?
Wait, I'm trying to think. Mark, Orrin, Jenny, Kevin. Wait,
Their buddy that came down with the other.
Oh, right. Okay, now I got you. Yeah, I think it was Kevin.
I think it was Kevin. Kevin, if it's not your name, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're sorry.
But,
a lot of people and a lot of drinks.
Oh, gosh. And Michael Thompson.
And Michael Thompson, author. Famed author of Hoffner's... gosh.
Sea Monsters.
I know. I have the book right here.
You could find it on the shelf.
Good luck, I know. But
Anyways,
Michael Thompson.
And I got a story about Michael later. You know what story I got.
Which one?
Anyways.
Okay, we'll get to it.
So we're all sitting.
Oh, I know.
We moved all the chairs in this big circle. Oh, and Linda and Mary.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Linda and Mary were there. Great people.
Yep.
You'll hear both of them later. Linda recorded our presentation. She's going to use it on her page. We're going to use it on ours. And then Mary gave me the signed poster of everything. And she's got her own counter. She's going to come on the show.
Awesome.
And she may be in some of the other shows on our network, too, for different things.
Nice.
Wealth and knowledge.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we moved all the chairs in this hotel lobby around in this big circle. So we could all see and talk to each other and stuff like that. Gave Ron and his wife the couch. And it was so cool because Ron was looking like the king.
Right, yeah.
And we're all drinking, you know. Ron's having his wine, and I'm drinking moonshine like a monster. But it was just so fun. Everybody's talking about everything from Spider Bigfoot to alien invasions to
sumo wrestling. To caber tossing. Yeah.
To just what kind of pizza to order. And April, Rick's wife, she's like, she went and got all the pizza information. And I'm like, I'll call. Pizza was super cheap, by the way. As far as it was $50 with the tip for 4 pizzas.
Wow. Okay.
Large pizzas. And I was like, so Orrin and Jenny paid for a big chunk of it. April paid for a big chunk of it. I paid for a big chunk of it. And I was it. We're like, I'm not going to bother with getting everybody else's money.
Right.
It's that cheap. You know, it's not really
that big of a deal.
Yeah. And then, so he got a pretty good tip too, because it was only like $38.
That's insane. Okay.
Anyway, super good idea. April, if you ever listen to this, thank you.
Yeah.
She gave me the number to call, and I'm like, yeah, I'll go call it.
Thank you.
But no, we were hanging out. Frickin' Mark went to bed at 10:30.
Mistake.
Ron Moorhead, man, I believe, I'm not going to say his age, but a man more advanced in age than Mark.
Which, did we even mention Mark yet?
I said Mark.
I mean, that he came with us.
Oh, no, Mark, thank you for coming. Mark helped us drive, stuff like that. We picked him up hammered, though. So
he's one of our, we met him at CrypticCon. And
yeah.
And
his amazing girlfriend,
Jennifer.
Jen.
She's
taken care of me more than once with paying my bill.
Right,
and just getting me back to, taking me back to my wife.
We just met Mark, and he's now become one of our friends. And he traveled all the way to Virginia or to North Carolina with us in the car, helped us drive. He got stuck listening to my CDs and stuff like that on the way there.
And they're awful, by the way.
Nah, it's to each their own. But thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
But okay, go on.
What was I saying?
Mark went to bed.
Mark went to bed at 10:30.
Couldn't hang.
There are 4 or 5 living legends in this hotel lobby that we're all hanging out with. We're having a ball with.
Yeah.
And I got pictures to prove it. And he went to bed at 10:30.
He did his best.
Ron was up with us till 1:30. And Ron's having a ball.
Quit giving Mark such a hard time.
And then Scott was up with us forever.
Yes.
Scott went to bed and then came back, and then went to bed and then came back.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember all
His
that.
His kids tapped out. Keep in mind, Scott's kids are like our age.
Yeah.
And they tapped out, and we're up just okay. So I think we were kind of close to getting kicked out of the hotel.
Or at least kicked back to our rooms.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or something. So
removed from the lobby.
Oh, but I guess before I say this, when we got there on Friday, it was like 6, 7 a.m.
Yeah.
And we couldn't check in until 3.
Yeah.
They're like, no, your room's empty. You can go upstairs. That lady at the front desk was so nice.
Oh, I know. It's so nice. We get so lucky.
I'm like, we could literally kiss you right now.
I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
We went up there and got our naps
Passed out.
because I did not really sleep that whole night, except maybe an hour.
You slept more than an hour.
That's all the longer you drove.
I drove 3 hours.
You did not drive 3 hours.
I did. It was 10:30 to 2:30.
Please, 10:30.
Yeah, I drove from Mothman to Virginia.
2 hours tops.
No,
Tops.
an hour was. I will say an hour an hour of it was in that traffic jam. And you slept that whole time like a rock.
Well, yeah.
And then
I was exhausted.
You woke up when we were. So the GPS, I have on my GPS to avoid the tolls, but it took us on a toll road.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know the GPS was this smart. It would take us off right before the toll and put us back on until right before the next toll.
So we got dumped onto these back roads.
And this one was like a stone road next to a river in Virginia,
which is
in the middle of nowhere,
windy and curvy and covered in trees.
And then we're like, well, this is where we die.
And we're driving.
I could hear banjo music.
We're driving my car with a flat tire and a wheel bearing going out.
Oh yeah, did you take it anywhere yet?
I got an appointment made.
Okay.
So.
Because it was bad.
Yeah, a little bit.
Especially on the way home, you could definitely feel the difference. Anyways, so it kept taking us around. Yeah. So back to the hotel. Hotel was super nice, and it was receptionist's fault. We were being, and it wasn't even me being the loudest in the room, but our group was being extremely loud.
Yeah, we're having fun.
But it's like past midnight, and she's like, "Hey guys, we're gonna have to keep it down. We're getting complaints." And like, okay, and she kept kind of coming back around, checking the corner, and I kept trying to shush everybody. It wasn't really working. Scott Nelson was the loudest man.
Oh, for sure.
But he's partially deaf,
and he's Irish.
A talker.
Yeah. And
so it was just like, he was almost yelling, not like yelling at anybody, just loud.
Yeah, he was excited.
We were up so late.
Oh, yeah, but it was fun.
It was so much
fun.
fun. So I have a story about Michael.
Okay.
So Michael comes down, and Michael, yelling at you. Michael listens to almost every episode. Michael has hung out with us really late before.
Yeah.
Never, I don't remember him ever drinking with us. Like the night before, he didn't drink with us. He had water.
Yeah.
So this night, he's like, "Hey, I'm going to drink with you guys."
I know. I was like kind of surprised. I'm like, Michael's never done this with us.
So I have all this liquor and stuff like that. And I'm like, you want some moonshine? And he's like, sure, whatever. He's like, I'll drink whatever. And I'm like, all right. So I pour him a big glass of moonshine, a pretty decent helping of moonshine. I hand it to him, and he takes a sip, and he's like, "Is that apple?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm really allergic to apple." I'm like, "Well, don't drink it."
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm like, "What happens?" He's like, "Oh, I don't know." I'm like, "What do you mean you don't know?" Like, yeah. I'm panicking. Like, and he's like, No, I'm fine. And he was fine for that night. Next morning at breakfast, we're sitting there. Michael hobbles in on crutches.
Yeah.
And he says, "The apple made my legs not work."
Yeah.
And I about peed myself at that table.
Yeah.
No, what had happened is he twisted his ankle loading the truck.
The night before.
But immediately came and started drinking with us. So he's like, "Oh, my ankle didn't hurt."
Yeah.
The next day, it was like the size of a softball.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he hurt himself.
Yeah. Oh, the apple. You almost killed the man.
My legs don't work.
That was pretty funny.
And it was hilarious. But now talking everybody. And I heard some stories from some people that I won't name on this episode because it's going to be featured on other episodes coming up.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the encounters these guys have had, like, they talk about their basic encounters and stuff like that because I think that's what most of the Bigfoot crowd wants to hear.
Yeah.
But when you get into the nitty-gritty and start asking about weirder stuff and stuff like that, and they've experienced it, it's crazy some of the levels of stuff these guys have experienced.
Oh, yeah.
No matter how much you want to believe them. I believe them all that were there. Like, personally, I believe all these guys. But, everybody has haters, especially when you get big.
Haters gonna hate.
Mm-hmm. Well, so you tell a story.
You
had all that time to think of one.
Well, my favorite one was just taking Daryl's hat. So Daryl, the UFO hunter, he has this nice cowboy hat he wears with his peacock feathers around the rim of it.
So he is Native American and Irish.
and something else too.
I can't remember the third thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's his two big things. So Daryl is accepted Native American. I can't remember the tribe he's from.
Yeah.
But you can kind of see it in him.
Oh, for sure.
Anyways, so yeah. So he wears feathers and beads and for reasons.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. But he has a super really nice hat he wears everywhere. And then he took his hat off and sat it down in his booth on his luggage, and because he was going to go outside to get some lunch at the food trucks. But it was kind of sprinkling out, so he didn't wear his hat because it was sprinkling. I'm assuming he didn't want to get it wet, so that made me assume, like, okay, it's probably a pretty expensive hat that he don't even want to get even a dribble of water on it to wear outside and sprinkling. So I see it over there sitting down, and I'm wearing my $2 tinfoil lined straw hat that just looks like about 80 people have sat on it at some point, and it's just this crappy old hat. So I went and swiped his hat that he left there and replaced it with my own, and then hid his hat away from him, and just went on about the day like nothing had happened. So he come back with his lunch, and and then there was people at his booth, so he was kind of just visiting the people and talking, and finally he comes around the corner to our booth. And did he threaten you first?
So no. So he seen me walk around, and he pointed at me and started sharpening his hand.
Yeah, that's what he was doing. Yeah.
And he has so much like actual special training, like, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, he could probably really hurt you if he wanted to. So he starts sharpening his hand.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, he's looking at me, and I'm like, he's like, where is it? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't know.
Where is it?
And he's pointing at Jay's tinfoil hat in his booth.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, well, I have my hat on, if that gives you any inkling.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. And then he stands up and he sneaks behind Jay. And
so I turn around, and he's right there in my face, kind of. And he doing the hand sharpening thing again to me. And I just played dumb. What do you want? And he's like, and he just points back again at where I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, just playing dumb. And he wouldn't say a word. He just kept looking me in the eye without even blinking. Just a stern look. And I'm like, oh, your hat. I'm like, you want your hat? I'm like, well, you might have to go out in the parking lot and chase the guy down I just sold it to. Some guy saw it on the table, and he really wanted it, so he gave me $20 for it. And I pulled 20 out of my pocket and started shaking it in his face. And he just, again, raised his eyebrows and sharpened his hand again. And I'm like, well, I gave you mine. You can wear that. I think it'll look nice, during your presentation. Like, that's an expensive hat. A lot of people like it. And he just didn't even say a word.
I forgot to get the picture. Next time we see him in person, we have to get the picture. We'll also switch hats and take a picture.
Oh, yeah, it's true. It's true. We got to do. Oh,
would he either looked better I don't know. Would he look better in my big straw hat with the top missing, or he would look better in the tinfoil one?
Well, imagine him in a tinfoil hat.
Imagine him in this big hick hat with his nice fancy suits and everything like that.
I know, both. I mean, both would be funny. We'd have to get multiple pictures.
Yeah.
So finally, I'm like, all right, I got your stinking hat, you big baby. No, I didn't say that. He probably would have killed me. So I pulled out his hat because I didn't wear it. I was going to wear it and like have him come in and see me wearing it, but I was like, that
may be a little rude.
Yeah, I don't want to I don't want another man to wear my hat or anyone in general. So I just hid it under our table on a chair, and I pulled it out and I gave it to him. Like, here's your hat. I kept it safe. And he's like, only 2 people in the world have this like hat. I think he said hat bend or something. The band.
The peacock band.
Yeah, that goes around it. And he's like, it's me and one of the Koch brothers. And if you don't know who the Koch brothers are, or the Koch family, I think it's KOCH. They're big donors to both political parties. Kind of a prominent, rich, wealthy family. So only him and one of those brothers has that band on their hat. So I was like, well, and I grabbed my hat. Only 2 people in the world have this type of hat. And it's me, and I didn't even get to finish my statement because it was just so ridiculous.
Me and Vladimir Supreme.
Me and this homeless man that I actually stole the hat from in the first place. Pretty fitting. Oh, it was pretty funny.
Any other stories before we wrap it up?
trying to think.
I know there was tons of stuff happening.
I know. Other than the whole experience, it was fun talking sumo with Scott Nelson because
that was weird.
He was trying to bluff me and say like he was an expert in knowing and tried just making up stuff, and I called him out on it. But he actually did know a little bit about it. But we had a fun conversation about culture and things like that, and how Westerners don't understand it because sports was on the TV, and that's what started the conversation. That was fun. It's fun. Just talking to everyone there was. What a great experience in the hotel lobby with everything. Me and Michael shared some personal stories that was really fun and entertaining. I'll save those for next time Michael comes on the show, if he wants to share. I'm not sharing any of them without his approval. But other than that, Warren and Jenny, like we had a great time talking to them, a great experience.
Mark, thanks for going.
And Mark, we shared a bunch of stories to and from on the drive. Very entertaining. I'm very glad he went with us. Overall, again, EncounterQuest, 10 out of 10 experience. When 2024 rolls around, make sure you pre-order your tickets.
Yeah,
if you can make time on your calendar to get there, and if you're into any of this stuff and enjoy us or what we do, I'm telling you, this is the event to go to. The event.
I think this thing's going to get really big.
I think so, too, and deservedly so, because it was freaking awesome.
They put in a lot of work.
Yep. Thank you, Jess and Kim, again.
Yeah, I mean, they put in a lot of work, and it really showed.
Mm-hmm.
And they took care of everybody, and it was just...
Oh, and not to mention Jess's parents.
Oh, their families.
Yeah.
And
her
Kim's
brother.
family came.
Yeah.
Jess's family came. And
oh, yeah. Kim's, is it her nephew?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, we had a great...
6 of Mark's hats.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was awesome. What a great experience.
Literally... It felt like, I mean, it was family ran, and it felt like it.
Right, exactly.
But Jess and Kim have been doing like vending and stuff like that for years, so you knew everybody. We knew most of the vendors there too.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. I mean, just
yeah.
Next year, I can't really wait.
10 out of 10.
I told him I was a little upset with him. You remember this story?
Start going, probably.
I told Jess and Kim when we first got there. After I seen the event, like the venue and all this stuff, I was a little upset with him because this is probably going to be one of our best events of the year.
Oh,
it was right off the rip.
Yeah, it's hard and it's over now.
And not saying anything else, but the other events we're going to do, they're all great.
Mm-hmm.
But this one,
next level.
Yeah.
And first year, so next year, oh boy, I can't wait.
And if they make it a 2-day event, that would be awesome.
Oh yeah,
we'll just have to stay a whole week.
Yeah.
And
Won't
I think
hurt my feelings.
We've already kind of talked to them about maybe us having a little bit of an extra part next year's. Jay specifically.
Oh, yes, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
They're going to put me in a costume and hang me from the ceiling, and I'm going to fly around the event.
Like a pinata. We're going to beat him until he bleeds.
So my tinfoil hat busts open, and there's candy and brain matter comes out.
I was going to say, it's not even candy. It's just it's USB cards.
Yeah, clone chips.
Yeah.
Clone programs.
All right. I have been the Great and Powerful Mystery.
And I've been Jay.
Hope you guys enjoyed this review episode. If not, skip.
Yeah.
I didn't say that till the end, so already got you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Crypts of the Corn podcast.
Please share with a friend you think would like us. It's the best way to help our show grow.
Leave a comment, rate us, a 5-star review, and remember, there is always extra content on Patreon/cryptozoology.com.
And don't forget, stay magical.